Everybody keeps saying return, return, return. I don't understand.
We haven't seen you in the ring, obviously, since November, and we haven't seen or heard a word from you either. So everyone's been wondering, where's Dereck Chisora been? So where you been?
I've been in London, and I've been in South Africa. So been training since I lost that fight. 4 weeks after that, I went back to the gym, with a new trainer, started new tactics, started learning the game again. Most people thought I'd retire after that. It was a sad day for Dereck Chisora that day. But you know what? A better man won that day. A better fighter, actually.
Was there ever a thought that you might just call it a day after that? Did that ever go through your mind?
No, to be honest, I got the rest of my life to call it a day. As long as I can still run, I can still hit the bag, I can still understand. As long as I still pass my medical, I'm all good at fighting, man. I just want to fight.
And tell us about the change in trainer and gym and stuff.
I've changed. I'm the old Kronk. I'm with Gary. This is the first fight me and Gary are doing together. But saying that, I trained with Gary when I was an amateur for about 3 months. I called around for trainers and stuff like that, but I wanted somebody who understands the game more, and Gary knows the game very well. In the previous camps I had, I used to train very hard, and when it comes to fight, I never used to have so much in the tank for a fight, But with Gary's method, he told me we'll train, but we won't train hard. We want to train at the same time recover the body. So we've been doing that, and we're going to give you a test run on Friday.
The heavyweight division has obviously been moving fast since you've been away since November.
Moving, come on, let's be honest now, it hasn't been moving. What's been happening in the heavyweight division?
Tyson Fury's obviously moved on as a result of the fight to get his shot at Klitschko.
Yes. Deontay Wilder nearly got knocked out a couple of weeks ago. Vladimir or Vitali? Vlad. His fight in New York was not the greatest. Anthony knocked, our old opponent in the second round. He hasn't moved on, bro. He hasn't moved on. David Price got knocked out 2 days ago. So basically, I personally think he hasn't moved on. It's still it's still there. The heavyweight game don't move fast as it should be, but it's still there because the fighters in the heavyweight game don't want to fight other fighters. That is just simple facts.
So you'll be coming back into it in a kind of similar state to it was back in November, you feel?
Mate, I had a meeting with Frank, and I said to Frank, I would like to fight one of the guys in the top 10. I gave him few names. I gave him the 2 French guys in the top 10. I gave him the Australian guy, he's in the top 10. He turned it down. And for the last 2 months, we've been looking for a top 10 contender, but we can't find any. That is a simple fact. Yeah. There
was talk of a David Price fight, obviously before he got knocked out by Erkan Tepe.
Yeah, that was the whole idea. I wanted to fight David Price when he wins the European. But that can't happen now. But I believe the guy from North will come back. And I don't want him to retire now, because if he retires, he'll kick himself in the long run. So I don't want David Price to retire. I'm actually disappointed that Carl Froch retired as well, to be honest with you, because boxing needs people like Carl Froch and people like that, because they fight, they train, they want to fight, And I'm upset that he's retired now.
So you think David Price can rebuild, come again?
Big time, he can, yeah. All he needs to do is change his whole situation. He needs to get rid of everybody he's with right now.
Is that your advice, because you've been through the same?
Yeah, that's my advice. He needs to just change everything he does, and you'll see a big difference.
Tyson Fury, as we said, moves ahead to October 24th when he fights Vladimir for all those belts. How do you see that fight going?
I personally see, Vladimir is he'll be too strong for Tyson. Vladimir is a very technical operator. Since I fought Tyson, he's never knocked me down, he's never knocked me out, so I want him to do it. It's God honest truth, I want him to do it. He's English, I want him to do it for us, so I wish him all the best.
Another British heavyweight, as you mentioned there, Anthony Joshua, fights for the Commonwealth title against Gary Cornish. Was Cornish ever an opponent that you could have fought?
No, I think Cornish is managed by Andy Allen. But I give Anthony Joshua that fight in the second round or third round. Yeah.
And then the plan is for him to move ahead to a Dillian Whyte fight in December. How do you see that one? A lot of talk about that one.
Yeah, right now Dylan don't have a trainer. Trying to get what's his name, Banksy to train him. Yeah, but to be honest with you, man, I give it to Anthony. Anthony's got everything happening for him. He's got a great team behind him. The rest are just trying to disrupt what his rhythm, but I don't think they'll be able to disrupt his rhythm.
He seems to have those next 2 fights this year kind of sewn up in terms of what he's doing. Is Anthony Joshua an opponent you see for yourself maybe next year?
No, there ain't no money in it for us. Yeah, the money's in there only for Eddie Hearn, not for me and Anthony. So when I know there's money in for us, I will make the fight happen.
So what route are you going? Obviously you get through this fight, and then what happens between now and Christmas? Are you going to be kind of busy? How do you see it going?
Yeah, I'm going to be busy, 100% busy. I'm trying to get one in September, straight away.
Any idea on what route you're going yet, or is it just a case of trying to find opponent?
I want to get in the WBO or the WBC top 10 straight away.
The WBA obviously have the regular belt, and Shigaev is the champion at the moment. Is that?
I don't want to fight for that belt. No. I would want to fight for it, but it depends on what terms. Everybody be after that belt.
You're looking at the 4 major.
I want to go WBC. Yeah.
And so you think if Vladimir wins next year, you fought his brother already. Do you think that could be, with a few wins, you could be getting into that sort of territory?
I think Vladimir wins, and then his next fight, he's just signed a 4-year deal again with RTL, 5 fights. So I think his last fight will be probably with Deontay Wilder. He's going to try and avoid me and stuff. But you know what? I'm not bothered about Vladimir right now.
I think Wilder is beatable.
Every fighter is beaten. It depends. Boxing is about timing. It's about timing. This is why Floyd Mayweather has always been at the top, because he knows when it's time and he knows when it's not time. It's about timing. What
have you made of Deontay Wilder's kind of rise? Because he obviously has a great record, but he's only just stepped up recently. And like you say, he did struggle in that homecoming first defence.
Yeah, you always struggle when you're fighting a nobody and you don't know what they are. You don't really go in the gym and train. It's like same as Carl Froch when he was fighting George Groves. He didn't really take him seriously until he got hit down and he goes, hold on, I have to be serious now. But Deontay Wilder on that fight, I wouldn't take that as a mistake he did that. I just think he didn't really concentrate on that guy.
Just one final one. Whereabouts are you training now? Are you still local? Are you North London?
I'm in North London, but better now. So when I announce for my next big fight, when you do the press conference, you'll love it.
Brilliant. Well, Dale, thanks for your time. Really appreciate that. Nice one.